the Association of Washington Cities Convention, statewide convention in Vancouver this week on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Hopefully, Vicki has gotten packets to all the council members who expressed interest in attending. If not, or if your schedules have changed and you are available, certainly just let her know and she can get that taken care of for you. For those members of the public who may not know, I think most of the members of the council are aware the tunnel is open and available for use. I think most everything came down on Thursday afternoon, it looks like, down there, and we took a walk through on Friday afternoon. Still have a few little tidying up things to do, but other than that, it was getting used a lot while we were there early on Friday. Final item, obviously, there was some information in the paper this morning in regards to fireworks. And just a reminder for the newspapers and for the public that we do have fireworks only legal to be let off on July 4th itself in the city of Washougal. And I know I touched base with both the police chief and fire chief today, and they're already making their plans for enforcement of the city codes in regards to fireworks. With that, I'll move to council comments.
Consent agenda.
I'm sorry?
Consent agenda.
Oops, I'm sorry. God, I went right past that completely. I have for the council's consideration the consent agenda for this evening, consisting of the revised city council minutes of June 7th, the special meeting workshop minutes of June 14th, the regular AP claims in the amount of $267,110.51, and Agenda Bill 8710, a cemetery buyback for the Kuhn lots.
Mr. Mayor, I ask unanimous consent that we approve the consent agenda as stated, which moves item number 5 to new business.
Correct. Hearing no objections, so ordered. Council comments. Any council members? John?
Mayor Guard, is it possible for you to have staff send me an electronic version of the Buxton report? And this series of questions has to do with the regional tourism group that we're
I
have
believe
together.
as long as we've got it in electronic version, we can
Okay.
probably forward it on, you bet.
All right. Okay. Also, too, it also came up in our meeting, was there a survey that went out with our water bill not too long ago?
There were 2 surveys in regards to the parks.
Yes, did we receive any feedback on those yet, or?
RJ, those are still coming in on the cycles, are they not?
Yeah, we'll have to follow Suzanne to find out where they are in the process.
Okay, good. So anyway, that's all I have for right now. Thank
Okay.
you.
Rod?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment on what Barbara Anderson said about the staff, and I just want everybody to know that we have an exceptional staff. And whether it's Suzanne or anybody else, they're our ambassadors to our city. And the staff, the actions and the things that they do every day, and whether they're in their green shirts or orange shirts or dealing with the public, those are the ones that or sitting in a staff level, in fact, are the ones that are our ambassadors to our city. And I think that by far and away, we have an exceptional staff because they will go that extra mile. They'll help you at any given time. We have council members up here that will, in fact, take you home. I mean, I think that's what our foundation of our city is built on, is helping each other. And I'm very proud to be a part of the city, and in fact, representing the staff and the people that are our ambassadors on the street every day.
Thank you, Rod. Paul?
I just wanted to mention I went to the annual luncheon and meeting of the Parks Foundation today, along with Administrator Scott, and one of those really wonderful employees that you speak of is Susan Batchelder, who is our parks manager, among other hats that she wears. And through her efforts, we got another grant from the foundation again this year. And so many thanks to Suzanne.
Other members? Michael?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In regards to the request earlier for council support for the state of Arizona, I wanted to mention that this is a complex issue which is certainly not over yet. And it's quite possible that we won't take action on that, from what I can understand. And in regards to some advice that was given to us by our insurance authority a few weeks ago, they were mentioning that one thing we should restrict ourselves to is our own jurisdiction, even though I'm sure that you're going to find a lot of support for the immigration law in Arizona. Certainly, they have a lot of issues going on down there, including, I just learned today, the federal government is actually suing or intending to sue the state of Arizona regarding their immigration law, which is a very rare maneuver. And also, the Buenos Aires National Wildlife Refuge in Arizona on the border of Mexico now has posted signs saying that U.S. citizens are not encouraged to go in there because we don't control it anymore. Certainly, it's a very contentious issue, and one that I think we should perhaps spend a few minutes discussing next workshop. But we should also remember what our legislative authority is on some level. But personally, I definitely stand with you in support of the state of Arizona in supporting the laws that the federal government has passed, which is what their immigration law does support.
May I just say one thing?
Rick?
One thing that's hard for me to understand is, and I understand you have jurisdictions, but then if I equate that to me, do I get to pick the laws I want to apply to me?
And
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of,
Let's,
I'm pretty.
let's,
okay.
let's hold this discussion off for another
Okay.
time. Right now, we're on council comments. Michael, anything?
Well, in regards to that comment, if I could just speak for another 30 seconds. That's one of the beauties of having different states, in theory, that you have competition between the states, so that you have the state of Washington, which has a certain set of laws, and that is, in effect, how we can choose which laws we wish to have by going from one state to another state. That was I believe that was one of the original ideas behind the federalist model that the founders gave us. But anyway, certainly a good discussion to have next week.
On that same issue, I have no problem with discussing this particular issue, because although it is an Arizona issue and a federal issue, I also see it as an issue for the state of Washington. And I would see this resolution urging the state of Washington to pass similar laws. And therefore, I think it's germane to what we do here, even at the local level, if we're recommending that to the state. I think it behooves us to give direction to our state legislators, because otherwise they go off in directions that aren't necessarily beneficial to us. I did want to comment on one other thing, and you intrigued me so much there that I forgot what it was.
You can go to Molly and come back your direction.
Sure.
Would you please?
Absolutely.
Yes, as I'm sure most of the citizens in the audience are probably aware, we here on council do much more than spend 2 hours a week here at these dioceses or at our workshops. So I really want to make sure that everyone understands how much energy that each one of us puts into making the city a better place. We serve on a number of committees. We meet frequently. We try to direct policy changes when applicable, or find obsolete parts of our code that need to be amended. We work finance committee. We go through AP claims. And that's just the internal things. And externally, each one of us is a representative of the city of Washougal.